So tonight we read the three surah of the Quran, Surah Yusuf, Surah Ra'd, and Surah Ibrahim. Surah Yusuf is a one complete surah with complete story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Prophet Yusuf is the son of Prophet Yaqub, and the Prophet Yaqub was named as Israel, and then his father was Ishaq, and the father of Ishaq was Ibrahim. So the Prophet Yusuf was grandson of Prophet Ibrahim. The son of Prophet Ibrahim is Ishaq, and his son is Yaqub, and the son of Yaqub is Yusuf. So he was prophet in the fourth generation, son of Ibrahim, and then Ishaq, and the son of Ishaq is Yaqub, and the son of Yaqub is Yusuf. And they were 12 brothers. The 12 brothers from 4 mothers, the Prophet Yaqub, his 2 sons, Yusuf and Binyamin, they were from his 4th wife. And then this story teaches us so many things about the family, that how the father's love to one child can affect on the other children and cause in them the jealousy, and the jealousy can even cause that much aggravated that it can even go to kill their brother. So they were too much jealous with the brother because of the too much attention of the father, the overwhelming love of the father, sow up a seed of hatred in their heart, but only to the 10 among them. Not the young one, the Binyamin, he was not aware of their plans. And even from among the 10, the one was still reluctant to be the good, the Lavi. But the 10 brothers, they were very affected by the shaitan, and the shaitan discord hatred in their hearts. And just because they want to get the love of the father, they want that the father can give them love and not to be always showing too much love to Yusuf. The Yusuf is the name of the prophet, and the father was too much loving him because he saw that this child is special. He might be a prophet. He might be a special child. So he was very loving, and it was not in his control, but that caused too much problem that these 10 brothers, they wanted to kill him already. But when they brought him out with a trick with the father to send him to with the sheep, because they were shepherd, and he will play with them in the desert, and then they watch him, and the father was afraid, and he said that I can send him with you because you might be unaware of him, and the wolf eaten him. And they try to show so much love and etc. But before that, what happened? That the Prophet Yusuf said, Iskala Yusuf Uliyabihi, when the Yusuf said to his father, Inni ra'aytu had ashara kawkaba wa shamsu wal qamaru ra'aytuhum li sajidin. That I saw in the dream that there are 11 stars and the sun and the moon. I saw them in the dream that they are making prostration for me. For him, that Allah give him honor, so they are going to fall down in the sajda, to showing take gratefulness to Allah for the honor given to him. And before them is starting that Alif Lam Ra, these are the verses of the clear book. Surely we send down this Quran in Arabic so you can understand, because this is the language of the time that in that area when in Makkah and Medina when the Quran was revealed. We relate unto you the best of the stories through our revelation unto you of this Quran, and before this you were among those who knew nothing about it. And when the Prophet Yusuf said, Iskala Yusuful Yabi, when Prophet paid the Yusuf to his father, O my father, surely I see that 11 stars and the sun and the moon, they are prostrating for me. Not to him, but for me, but for his honor, that Allah is going to give him honor. Qala ya bunayya, the Prophet Yaqub, the father said, O my son, la taqsus ru'yaka. Don't mention this dream to your brothers. Ala ikwatika. Don't mention this dream to your brother. فَيَكِيدُ لَكَ كَيْدًا. They might, lest they arrange a plot against you. Verily, shaitan is to man an open enemy. Inna shaitana lil insani aduwwun mubin. Surely the shaitan for the man is open enemy. Now immediately the wiseness of Prophet Yaqub, that he already saw that there is jealousy in the brothers, in the 10 brothers against Yusuf, and his youngest brother was very young. So now when he know about the dream, and it shows very clearly the father and son is the mother and father. Father and son is the stumps and comer. The sun and the moon is already denoting is father and son, a father and mother. Washamsa wal qamar, and the sun and the moon. Right, ashara kawkaba. I see the 11 stars and sun and the moon. So who is the sun and the moon? The father and the mother. And the 11 stars are the 11 brothers. And they are putting down their head on the floor, sajda for him, for his honor, that Allah is going to give him honor. So that dreams can very clearly interpret that Yusuf will be the superior in all the family, in all family. And that can make a terrible jealousy among those 10 brothers who were already tempted by the shaitan, and they were already planned against him. Thus will your Lord choose you and teach you the interpretation of the dream, and perfect his favor on you and on the offspring of Prophet Yaqub, and he perfected it on your forefather Ibrahim and Isaac aforetime. Verily your Lord is all knowing, all wise. So now Allah said to Prophet Muhammad that's how I saw also dream. And he said that the Yaqub and generation of Yaqub, they were also given this, the generation of Yaqub were also given this knowledge of interpretation of the dreams. And he said also your forefathers, Ibrahim and Isaac, they were also given this knowledge of how to interpret the dreams. Inna rabbaka alimun hakim. Surely your Lord is knowledgeable, the wise. لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي يُوسُفَ وَإِخْوَتِهِ آيَةٌ لِلسَّائِلِينَ. Wherein in the Yusuf, truly Yusuf and his brother are loved more by our father than we, while we are a strong group. Really our father is in plain mistake, plain error. So they even decided to that we see that the Yusuf and his brother, the one from one mother, and their youngest one, how they cannot see the jealousy in them, that they cannot want to see that how the father loved them more than them. And they are even arrogant, that they are the strong group, they are powerful. These 2 sons are not very powerful, yet they are not attention, the father attention is not to them, but to these 2 who are weaker compared to their kill Yusuf or cast him out to the slum land, so that the favor of your father may be given to you alone. And after that his brothers will be going to kill a brother. قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف إنا له نصير. They said to our father, why do you not trust us with Yusuf when we are indeed his well-wishers? And that's all happened when they knew about the dream. When they know about the dream, now they really wanted to get him out of the way so that he'll not be going to be rule upon them. So even the jealousy become more serious. So when they know about the superior, he said, truly it saddens me that you should take him away. I fear lest the wolf should devour him while you are careless of him. They state, if a wolf devours him while we are a strong group, that surely we are the losers. So when they took him away, they all agreed to throw him down to the bottom of the well and be inspired in him. Indeed, you shall inform them of their affair when they take our belongings. And the wolf devoured him, but you will never believe us even when we speak the truth. وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ. And they brought his shirt stained with the false blood. So what they did, they slaughtered one of the goat, the sheep, and they put the blood on the shirt of the Yusuf, and they presented it. The Prophet Yaqub said, "Nay, but your own selves have made up a story. Fasabrun Jamil." So patient is the most fitting. Wallahu wal musta'anu ala ma tasifun. And it is and Allah whose self can is taught against that which you assert, what you are attributing. So he immediately, the Prophet, he was very wise. He immediately know the trick of them. Because when they give him the shirt, it's full of blood, and that is not blood of Yusuf, but it is the blood of the goat or the sheep. So when the Prophet Yaqub, he saw the shirt, he said, "It's just a story you are making to your own selves." And there came a caravan of the travelers. They sent their water drawer, the pail in the big well, and he let down his bucket. He said, "Caravan to come," and when they saw well in the well, and they just come and they say, "Oh, he's our slave. We are selling him. Do you want to buy? We want to get rid of him. Just give him a small money and they bring that slave with you." So they get rid of him. They sold their own brother, these 10 brothers. And then they brought, this caravan, they brought Yusuf in the Egypt, in the Misr. And this one who bought it, the person among this caravan, the man from Egypt who bought him, said to his wife. And then this is another man who was the one in Egypt who bought it. And that man was powerful in Egypt. He was next to the king. He was like prime minister. He passed by the market and he saw that young, good-looking boy is being sold in the market. So he bought it because his wife cannot bear a child. So he wanted to give it to his wife to make him a son. A man who from the Egypt who bought him said to his wife, "Make his stay comfortable. Maybe he will profit us, or we shall adopt him as a son. Thus did we establish Yusuf in the lands, that we might teach him the interpretation of the dreams, and Allah has full power and control over his affairs, but most of the men know not." And when Yusuf, attained his full manhood, we gave him wisdom and knowledge. Thus we reward the good doers. And now that lady, one who was supposed to adopt him, she got the bad intention for him. And she, in whose house he was, sought to seduce him. So she closed the doors and said, "Come on, O you." He said, "I seek refuge in Allah. Truly, He is my master, your husband. He made me say with very good way, very good, taking care of me. Verily, the wrongdoers, the unjust people will never be successful." And indeed, she did desire him, and he would have been inclined to her desire, and had he not seen the evidence of his Lord, thus the signs of his Lord, thus it was that we might turn away from him evil and illegal act. Surely he was one of our chosen, guided slaves. So immediately run away. When he ran away towards the door, she followed him, and then she tear her shirt. And now when they go to the door, so they race with one another to the door, and she tore his shirt from the back. They both found her master, her husband and his boss on the door. She said, "What is the recompense?" She said to the husband now, "What is the recompense for him who intended an evil desire, evil plot against your wife, except that he be put in a prison or to give him a painful punishment?" He said, "It was she that sought to seduce me, and a witness of her household bore witness." So now there was no witness, and then Prophet Yusuf, Allah helped him. There was a young boy who cannot speak, and Allah gave him power to speak. And the witness of our household bore witness. If it be that his shirt is torn from the front, then her statement is true, and he's a liar. Because if he's doing a bad intention, and his shirt should be clear from the front. And that the small baby who Allah give power to speak, he said, but if it be that his shirt is torn from the back, then she should telling a lie and he is speaking the truth. So when the husband saw his shirt torn at the back, he said, surely it is the plot of a woman, certainly mighty is this your plot. O Yusuf, turn away from this. Ask forgiveness for your sin. And O woman, ask forgiveness for your sin. Verily you were of the sinful. And the woman in the city said, the wife of Al-Aziz, if a wife of the Aziz is seeking seduce her slave, young man, indeed she loves him violently. Verily we see her in plain error. So when she heard of their accusations, she sent for them and prepared a banquet for them. She gave each one of them a knife, and she said, come to Yusuf, come out before them. Then they saw him, they exalted him, and their astonishment cut their hands. They said, how perfect is the no man is this, he is like angel, a noble angel. So he said, this is he about whom you did blame me, and I did seek to seduce him, but he refused, and now, if he refused to obey my order, he shall certainly be cast into the prison, and will be one of those who are decrepit. The Prophet Yusuf said, O my Lord, prison is more to my liking than that to which they invite me. Unless you turn away their plots from me, I will feel inclined towards them and be one of those who commit sin and become those who are ignorant. So that's how dirty, filthy those women were. They were so immoral that they're trying to do wrong. And then how clean was the Yusuf that he preferred to go in the prison and not to commit any haram. فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُمْ. So his Lord answered his invocation and turned away from him to their plot. Verily he is all hearer, the all knower. So Allah let him to be put in the jail what he wanted to be, to stay from the sin. Then it appeared to them after they had seen the proof to imprison him for a time, for a period of time. And when he was in the prison, there entered the two young men in the prison. One of them said, verily I saw myself in a dream pressing the grapes to making a juice. The other said, verily I saw myself carrying the bread on my head, and the birds were eating from thereof. Inform us of the interpretation of this. Verily we think you are one of the good viewers. So what really happened was, these two men were one of the king's cook, the chef. The other one is the king's drink giver, making of the drink from the grapes. And somebody want them to kill the king for the political reason. So they give the poison to both of them, to the chef and the maker of the drink. And when the king was about to eat and to drink that grape drink, the one who was giving the grape juice or the grape drink or whatever, he stopped him. He said, don't eat this food and don't drink this drink because it is poison. So now the king stopped it and he put them both in the jail. So now they were both sleeping and they saw the dream. The one is seeing dream that he is making a juice from the grapes, the drink from the grapes. Another one is saw the dream that he has a head, bread on the head, and then the birds are eating from those grapes. And they asked him, you are a good man, tell us the dream. So Yusuf said, no food will come to you or as your provision, but I will inform you before the food will come to you. This is of that which my Lord has taught me. Verily I have abandoned the religion of people that believes not those who are not believe in Allah and are disbelievers in the hereafter. And I follow the religion of my father Ibrahim and Isaac and Yaqub, his grandfather, his grandfather Ibrahim, his grandfather Isaac, and his father Yaqub. Makana lana anushrika billah, and they were not those who were making shirk with Allah, anything. ذَلِكَ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا. This is the grace of Allah upon them and upon the people. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. And but the most of the men, they do not thanks to Allah. O true companion of the prison, are many different gods, lords better, or only one God, Allah? Irresistible. You do not worship those gods beside Allah, but only the names which you have named and you and your forefathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. The command is for none but Allah. He has commanded that you worship none but Him. That is the straight religion, but most men know not. O two companions of the prison, as for one of you, he will pour out the drink for his master to drink. Means he will be out from the jail and he will go back to his job again, serve the drink to the king. And as for him, the other one he will be crucified, killed, crucified, and the birds will eat from his head. Thus is the case which you both did inquire. So the one who did not stop the king to eat the poison, he really wanted the king to be killed. He was killed by the justice of the king. And the one who saved the king and tell him not to eat, even though he was part of the plan, but king forgave him and released him back to his old job to keep the trains made from the grapes. And he's the one whom he knew to send me to your king. So Yusuf stayed in the prison for a number of years. And now another part of the story, which is beautiful story in the Quran. And the king said, surely I saw in the dream the 7 fat cows, whom 7 lean cows were eating, and of 7 green ears of corn, and others at 7 dry corns. O notables, explain to me my dreams, if it be that you can interpret the dreams. So he asked his wise ones in the kingdom to tell him about what is his dream. They said, mixed up false dreams, and we are not skilled in interpretation of the dreams. And the man who was released from the jail after interpretation of his dream by Yusuf, now at the length remembered and said, I will tell you its interpretation, so send me forth to the prison. He came to the prison. Yusuf, Ayyuha Siddiq, O truthful one, explain to us about the 7 fat cows whom 7 lean cows were devouring, the eating, and the 7 grains of ear of corn, and 7 others dry, that I may return to the people and that they may know. And there was a very beautiful that this king, Allah is giving him a dream to tell about the future. There's something going to happen, so you have to prepare yourself. So Yusuf said, the 7 cows is for the 7 cows is for the 7 thick cows is that there will be 7 years of abundance, too much rain, and there is too much crops. And the 7 lean cows are eating to the 7 fat cows. That the other 7 years will have no rain, and whatever you have is going to be eaten in those 7 years. And then the 7 dry, the green corn and the 7 dry corn is also the 7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine. The famine which no rain, and then you will have no agriculture products. So what the meaning to say now, you have to very careful about the 7 years and to keep the lots of food for another 7 years. Because another 7 years, there will be too much famine and people and the animals will die without food. So when he gives this interpretation, uh, and that may know, that I may return to the people and that they may know. Yusuf said, for 7 consecutive years you shall sow as usual, as that which you reap, you shall live in its air, except a little of it which you may eat. So he said that most of your crops, don't remove the corn and keep it with the grass and store it, because if you remove it, it cannot be survived for 7 years. But if you keep with the grass in a dry place, and he make the big warehouses for them later, and he keep them, and those grass with the corns were survived for 7 years, and then the grass was for the animals and the corn for their bread. So how did this? He explained them how you can survive from the 7 years of famine. So he said, then will come after the 7 hard years, which will devour what you have laid by in advance for them, the storage, except a little of that which you have guarded. Then thereafter will come a year in which people will have abundant rain, and in which they will praise the drinks and the oil. And the king said, bring him to me, because king understand that is the right interpretation, that Allah want to give them warning that these 7 years keep the most of the food for another 7 years. Otherwise, the people will be killed and animals will be died in those 7 years. So he was very happy, the interpretation. He said, bring him to me. But when the messengers came to him, the Yusuf said, return to your master and ask him what happened to the women who cut their hands. Surely my Lord Allah is well aware of their plot. The king said to the woman, what was your affair with when you did seek to seduce Yusuf? The woman said, Allah forbid, no evil, no be against him. The wife of the Aziz, the one who was a mighty person, his wife was the first to seduce him. Now the truth is manifest, she said. Now the truth is manifest. It was I who sought to seduce him, and he is surely of the truthful. He never showed any sin in himself. Yusuf said, I asked for this inquiry in order that he, the Aziz, may know that I did not betray him in secret, and verily Allah guides not the people of, not the plot of the betrayers. And I flee not myself. Verily the human self is inclined to evil, except when my Lord bestows his mercy upon. Verily my Lord is of forgiving, the most merciful. And the king said, bring him to me, that I may attach him to my person, to myself. Then when he spoke to him, he said, verily this day you are with us high rank and fully trusted. The Yusuf said, appoint me on the treasures of the earth, agriculture products. Inni Hafizun Alim, surely I am protector and I am knowledgeable. So he started to save the grass together with most of the corns in the big warehouses. And the next 7 years, no rain, no production. Then he bring out those grass, remove the corn for their bread, and give the grass to the animals. So animals survive and people survive for 7 years. And even the people from the other countries, they were coming to Egypt to get the corn, the corn or wheat, the grain which is used for the bread. Thus did we give full authority to Yusuf in the land to take possession therein, as and when where he likes. We bestowed of our mercy on whom we please, and we make not to be lost the reward of the good doers. And verily the reward of the hereafter is better for those who believe and used to fear Allah and keep their duty to Him by abstaining from all kind of sins, evil. And Yusuf, brethren, the brothers came and they entered into him, and he recognized them, but they did not recognize him because he was already big now. When he was child, they throw him in the well. Now they come, these 10 brothers, they brought some money, they want to buy the food because they don't have food anymore because of the famine. When he has furnished them forth with provision. When he gave them the food, he said, bring me a brother of yours from your father. See you not, I give full measure, and that I am the best of the hosts. But if you bring him not to me the next time, there shall be no measure of corn for you with me, nor shall you come near me. They said, we shall try to get permission from his father, and verily we shall do it. And Yusuf told his servant to put back their money in their food, in the sack, into their bag, so that they might recognize it when they go back to their people, in order that they might come back. So when they returned to their father, they said, "Our father, no more measure of grain shall we get. So send our brother with us next visit, and we shall get our measure, and truly we will guard him." He said, "Can I entrust him to you, except as I entrusted his brother Yusuf to you aforetime? But Allah is the best to guard, and He is the most merciful of those who show the mercy." And when they opened their bags, they found their money had been returned. Those coins been returned, the silver coins or metal coins. They said, our father, can be desired? This our money has been returned to us, so we shall get food for our family, and we shall guard our brother and add one more measure of a camel's load. The quantity is easy. Yaqub said, I will not send him with you until you swear a solemn oath to me in Allah's name that you will bring him back to me unless you are yourselves surrounded. And when they had sworn their solemn oath, he said, Allah is witness over what we have said. And he said, O my sons, do not enter the city by one gate, but enter different gates, and I cannot avail you against Allah at all. Verily the decision rests only with Allah. In Him I put my trust, and let all of those that trust put their trust in Him. And when they entered according to their father's advice, it did not avail them in the least against the plan of Allah, the will of Allah. It was but need of Yaqub inner self which he discharged, and verily he was endowed with knowledge, because we had taught him. But most of the men know not. And when they went in before Yusuf, he betook his brother to himself and said, Verily I am your brother, so grieve not for what they used to do. So when he had furnished them forth with their provision, with their food, with their grains, he put the gold bowl, into his brother's bag. Then a crier shouted, Oh, you in the caravan, surely you are the thieves. They said, turning towards them, What is that you have lost? They said, We missed the bowl of the king, and for him who produced it, it is a camel load. I will be bound by it. They said, By Allah, indeed you know that we came not to make mischief in the land, and we are not the thieves. Yusuf men said, When they shall be penalty, what then shall be penalty of him if you are liars? They said, the penalty should be that he in whose bag it is found should be held here with you for the punishment, thus be punished the unjust people. So according to the law, that if you steal, then you become the slave of the person you steal. So Yusuf began the search in the bags before the bag of his brother. Then he brought it out of his brother's bag. Thus did we plan for Yusuf. He could not take his brother by law of king, except the law Allah willed it. We raise to degree whom we please, but over all the endowed with knowledge is the all-knowing Allah. Allah is above all the knowledgeables. So when he found the bowl, that was how he tricked to stop his brothers, because he afraid they might also kill him. They might also throw him somewhere after getting the grain. So that is, he make plan to get. So he put the bowl in the brother's load, and then he found out. so he can hold his brother as a punishment. But that was actually his plan to save his brother. They said if he still, there was a brother of his who did steal before, and they make another lie against Yusuf now that his brother was also stealing before. But these things did Yusuf keep in himself, revealing not the secrets to them. He said, "You are in a worse case, and Allah knows best the truth of what you assert." They said, "Oh, Aziz, the mighty person in the land in the Egypt," because the Yusuf was become Aziz now. He become next to the king already. He has all fathers, so take one of us in his place. Indeed, we think you are one of the good doers. The Yusuf said, "Ma'azallah, Allah forbid that we should take anyone but him with whom we found our property. Indeed, we should be wrongdoers, unjust people." So when they despaired of him, they held the conference in private. The eldest among them, the big one among them, said, "Know you not that your father did take an oath from you in the name of Allah, and before this you did fail in your duty with Yusuf? Therefore I will not leave this land until my father permits me or Allah decide my case, and he is the best of the judges." So one of the brother, he was very shy to the father. He let his brothers to go, and he did not left. He want to be stay there in Egypt. "Return to your father and say, our father, verily your son Binyamin has stolen, and we testify not except according to what we know, and we could not know the unseen. And ask the town where we have been and the caravan in which we returned, and indeed we are telling the truth." He, Jacob, said, "Nay, but your own selves have beguiled you into something, so patience is most befitting. Maybe Allah will bring them back all to me. Truly, He is the all-knowing, all-wise." And he turned away from them and said, "Alas, my grief for Yusuf." And he lost his sight because of the sorrow that he was suppressing. They said, "By Allah, you will never cease remembering Yusuf until you become weak and with old age, or until you be dead of the dead." He said, I only say my grief and sorrow to Allah, and I know from Allah that which you know not. "O my sons, go, all of you, and inquire about Yusuf and his brother, and never give up hope of Allah's mercy. Certainly no one despair of mercy of Allah except the people who are disbelievers." Then when we entered unto him, they said, "O ruler of the land, a hard time has hit us and our family, and we have brought but poor capital, so pay us full measure and charitable to us. Truly Allah does reward the charitable." He said, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant?" They said, "Are you indeed Yusuf?" He said, "Yes, I am Yusuf, and that is my brother Binyamin. Allah has indeed been gracious to us. Verily, he who fears Allah and with obedience to him and be patient by performing righteous good and is patient, then surely Allah makes not the reward of the good doers to be lost." So what is important? To fear Allah and to be patient always, then you will be successful. They said, "By Allah, indeed Allah has preferred you above us, and we certainly have been sinners." Now Yusuf said to his brother, "La tasrib alaykumul yawm." There is no blame upon all of you this day. May Allah forgive you, and He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. So these 40 years of hardship, and then one moment right away forgive his brothers. These are the great people. "Go with this shirt of mine and cast it over the face of my father. He will become clear-sighted, and bring to me all your family." And when the caravan departed, their father said, "I do indeed feel the smell of Yusuf, the good smell of Yusuf. If only you think me not crazy." They said, "By Allah, certainly you are still in your old error." Then when the bearer of the glad tidings arrived, he cast over his face the shirt of Yusuf, and he became the clear-sighted. His blindness is gone because of crying for his son. He became blind that time. But when the shirt of Yusuf was put on his face, the miracle happened, and he started to say, did I not say to you, I know from Allah that which you know not? They said, our father asked forgiveness for our sins. Indeed, we have been sinners. He said, I will ask my Lord for forgiveness for you. Verily, only he is of forgiving, the most merciful. Then when they entered into Yusuf, he was a great man. He was like ruler. He took his parents to himself and said, enter Egypt, if Allah will, in security. Then he raised to his parents on the throne, and they fell down for him in prostrate, for thanking to Allah for his honor. And he said, oh my father, that is the interpretation of my dream aforetime. So all of them, the 11 brothers and father and mother, they fell down to Allah in thanks for the honor of the Yusuf. And he said that was the interpretation of the dream. Oh my father, this is the interpretation of my dream aforetime. My Lord has made it come true. He was indeed good to me when he took me out of the prison and brought you all here out of your place. My Lord is the most courteous and kind unto whom he will. Truly, only he is the all-knowing, the all-wise. My Lord, you have indeed bestowed on me of the sovereignty, this kingdom, and taught me in the interpretation of the dream, the creator of the heavens and the earth. You are my wali, protector, in this world and the hereafter. And join me, take me with when I'm still obedience to you, and join me to those who are righteous. This is the news of the unseen, which we revealed by inspiration to you. You were not with them when they arranged their plan together, and they were plotting against. And most of mankind will not believe, even if you desire it eagerly. And no reward ask of them for it. If it is this Quran, it is no less than a reminder and an advice unto the people of the world, of all the worlds. And how many sign in the heavens and the earth they pass by while they are hours therefrom. And most of them believe not in Allah except that they attribute partners unto him. They are mushrikun, they are polytheists, idol worshippers. Do they then feel secure from the coming against them of the covering well of the torment of Allah, or of the coming against them of the final of the hour, the end of the world, all of a sudden, while they perceive not? Say, that is my way. Kul hadhi sabili adu ilallah ala basiratin ana wa man ittabani wa subhanallahi wa ma ana minal mushrikin. Say, that is my way, that I invite people towards Allah with wisdom, me and whoever follow me. And Allah is free from all errors, and I am not among those who are polytheists, those who are idol worshippers. And we send not before you any but men whom we inspired revelation from among the people of the townships. Have they not traveled through the land and seen what was the end of those who were before them? And verily, the home of the hereafter is best for those who fear Allah and obey him. Do you not then understand? Until when the messengers gave up hope and thought that they were denied, then came to them our help, and whomsoever we willed were delivered, and our punishment cannot be warded off from the people who are criminals. And the last verse of the surah, indeed, in their story, there is a lesson for men of understanding. The Quran is not a forced statement, but a confirmation of other books of Allah, the Torah, the Injil, and all other scriptures, and detailed explanation of everything, and a guided and a mercy for the people who believe. So this is the end of the surah to Yusuf, and tonight is the 21st night of Ramadan. It is the etikaf sunnah that we can do etikaf to catch up with this night, and this night is better than 1,000 months. And the reward of that night to awake is forgiven all the sins. May Allah let us to do this Laylatul Qadr. There will be another 4 nights among the last nights, the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27 and 29, but do better come for 10 nights, or this time will be only 9 nights, because 19th will be the moon sighting, inshallah, and 20 March will be the inshallah the Eid al-Fitr. Today is 10, tomorrow is 11, so tomorrow is 21st. So 19 will be the 29th of Ramadan, and 20 March will be the Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, inshallah. So we can have these 9 nights. Among these 9 nights, 5 are possibly to be, one among the 5 will possible to be a Laylatul Qadr. So good to do itikaf and to worship whatever part of night you can have capacity to do, and ask forgiveness, and especially the making dua to Allah, especially the dua for the believers to be victorious and to save the innocent life, and to make the peace in the world, and to stop all the wars in the world, so we can have lead peacefully and not the innocent lives will be wasted. And we can make always this dua, Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, amin. Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, amin. Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, amin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.